And we are live. Hello, hello. So many of you will be catching the replay. I know that we are at different time zones. Hello, gorgeous soul. I hope that you can hear me. I was just about to check the sound, but feel free to let me know if you can hear me. We have some, yes, hello, hey. So excited for this session. So excited that you're here. Just tuned in. Awesome. So feel free to set your intentions, your personal intentions for the session. You can ask me any questions that you desire during this transmission. And also for those catching the replay, you've got the activity feed. You can also contact me on private chat to ask specifically about this transmission. And I'm more than happy to answer your questions there. Venusian vibes, for sure, always, always. And it keeps amplifying. The goddess journey continues to really to expand in ways that are beyond what I can even comprehend, imagine. I'm really in the unknown and the unimaginable. And I will be speaking a lot about that for you guys today. Values and inherent worth. It's interesting because I saw that you had mentioned that, right? Values and inherent worth. And feel free to tell me exactly what you mean, because as you're just, connecting in, tuning in, and really being in your body right now, that values and inherent worth, that is actually what happened to me in China. I haven't given you too many details, and the only reason why I'm sharing my stuff with you is really as a metaphor, as storytelling, to reprogram your neurological body, to activate you, to transmit some of the lessons and learnings and frequencies. But that's what happened to me when I mentioned in one of the transmissions last that I've matured a lot and had a massive shift and an awakening. What's happened is that I realized my worth and I realized my value. And it's nuanced because it's beyond the industry and it's beyond external praise and validation and approval. It was an internal realization. It was an awakening. And it was such an awakening that I almost put a pause on the identity and the operational mode that I was in. I was in an operational mode where I was like, and I still am, but it's a different power. In my power, thriving, being seen, connecting, offering loads of value, having heaps of clients, really being active, really being proactive, creating magic with my clients. And that pause was, and I'm still in pause mode, to be honest, is a pivot. It's a pivot. And the pivot is because I woke up to the illusions that do not serve me. Oh my God, yes. Awesome. The pivot is strong. Yes, I can tell that you're in it. I know you're in it. I feel it for you. I really do feel that for you. The pivot is strong because it's like, no, it's time to shred. It's time to have a pause moment. It's time to pivot to your highest timeline, to your highest truth, no matter what, and to unhook. And that's what the pause was for me. I unhooked from the illusions or codependencies, however you want to label it, of what I thought that I needed in order to be successful, in order to thrive, in order to maintain and manage an identity, when now I don't give a fuck. I just don't care. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of losing anything. I'm not afraid that I'm going to come across a certain way. I don't give a shit because I've woken up to my highest truth and I'm living my highest embodiment and my highest timeline. And therefore the pivot is 100% necessary to really nurture and nourish this awakening that is on a cellular level. So I'm just reading, oh my God, that's what was coming up, what people think if I charge money for my time and truth. Yes, exactly. Now, on that, and we're jumping around right now, and then we're going to get somewhere because I've got so much value in this session for you guys. We're going to do stellar gateway chakra activation, which is, it's the 10th chakra. It's the solar chakra. We're going to do an emotional balance within that. We're going to do a self-esteem mode, kinesiology balance, and we also have boundaries, and we've got downloads to realize worth and value at a deeper level. So in terms of this charging money thing, what happens is the template and the blueprint of the industry can really delay our magic when it comes to wealth embodiment, when it comes to financial embodiment. Because, for example, at the moment, I'm booked out in my clinic. I'm at full capacity. I'm booked out because I not only have my one-to-one clients, but I'm also starting to attract corporate clients and corporate experiences. And so it's like I actually need that time to create those programs and to deliver on the work for the collaborations that I have. I currently have 3 collaborations pending with premium clients. Premium clients is not better, not worse. It's just a different clientele. It's a corporate client. It's a different payment structure. It's completely, it's not clinical work. Right? So I need to pivot because my clinic I've now outgrown my clinic. I'm at my capacity. I'm not going to put up my prices, and because I believe that my hourly rate is actually worth thousands. Like, my self-belief of myself is so high, it's insane. Like, I genuinely believe that I'm the world's best healer. Call me egotistical, like that's my truth. I really believe that. I believe that I'm a true magician. I'm like changing lives in the most incredible way. Like, I believe that someone should pay me what they pay Tony Robbins. Like, that's just my truth. But I'm not going to charge that to my neighbor who is going through trauma and needs my emotional support. Like, it's not, it doesn't work that way, right? I'm not going to charge him $10,000 when he's 91 years old and, just needs some TLC and unconditional love. I want to keep to my rate when it comes to the people that I love and the people that I serve. And, so it's like, what do I do? What do I do? And so it's like, I'm in between worlds right now where I'm a clinician charging $180 for a session, but I believe that I'm worth $1 million for just being in my presence. So can you see where I'm at? And it's all true. Both realities are true. So this is a strategic move to find a way to still honor the clinical side, the values there, not to just ditch my clients because I've had this awakening and say, see you later, bye. I've been working with you guys for 5 years now, and I'm just like, see ya, bye, move on. I can do that. or I can find a way that meets both worlds and also honors me and my time and my energy at the same time. And this is the value and this is the values and the worth piece for you guys. It's finding a strategy where you are unhooked from the industry rate and you come home to you being your own industry, your own source beyond all the modalities. You're not valuing your pricing structure based off a template. A therapist charges X amount, a kinesiologist charges X amount, a Reiki therapist charges X amount. These are all blueprints. These are all constructs. They're creations. They're someone else's decision and value and measure. But when you are your own empire, when that's what I am my own entity. I am my own industry. I am my own modality. I integrate so many different things in one session. I'm not just a therapist. I'm not just a life coach. I'm nothing, none of the above. I'm me. So you charge in accordance to you being your own industry, the industry of me. And then once you have the courage and bravery to actually value yourself at that level, you open up a doorway. You open up a doorway. And it's scary because you think that you might see nothing. You might see everything, right? So this has been building in my body, not in my mind, in my body for a very long time. I'm witnessing miracles with my clients. I'm witnessing true magic with my clients. I'm observing all of these results and I'm just digesting them and I'm witnessing them and I'm sitting with it. And what happens when you sit with it, or another way of putting it is hold the tension. You don't offload, you don't move on it, you don't react, you don't make quick decisions, you just sit with it and you just be with it. And you allow it to actually move through you without being in reactivity mode. What happens is those doorways open and all of a sudden your reality completely changes. Completely. Literally a whole new world has opened up to me. I didn't see it coming. The intentions were there, but the unknown was also there, surrender. Like I have no idea, and yet I'm holding the tension. And this new world that I'm in now, which I'm still in between worlds because the clinic hasn't completely dissolved yet, is that I have a new business partner. I have a new collaboration, and I've got a few other collaborations pending. And I didn't even seek it. It all came to me. And then that's when I realized my human design. And I'm not into diagnostics, really. I use diagnostics as tools, but I don't take them on as an identity, if that makes sense. Like astrology, I'm a Piscean. I don't take it on as an identity. I use it as a tool. You know, it's the same with gene keys. It's the same with human design. It's the same with numerology, right? So when I actually looked into my human design, it made 100% sense that I'm actually a projector. So I don't necessarily, I'm not very direct. I actually wait for the invitation. And when I actually started honoring that, waiting for the invitation for my gifts to be recognized, that's when the opportunities started coming into me. This is total surrender, the power of pause, the power of spaciousness, the power of pivoting, the power of realizing your true worth and your true value. and being in that highest timeline and having the guts, the balls, the courage, the bravery to actually stop. So what I want to do to sum up all of this is I dare you to actually teach your body that it's not going to die, and that you're not going to die. Maybe your ego might feel like death, but that's okay, because the ego is always afraid of death. If your mind goes silent, that's essentially ego death. It's when the chatter just stops. And I'm at that place as well. And then people ask me all the time, they're like, how is it possible that you're thoughtless? How is it possible that you have neutrality in your emotions when your archetype is actually usually emotional? Like, how is this actually possible? Some of my clients ask me this when I, give them metaphors about my life. And it's because I meditate every moment. I'm constantly meditating. I don't rely on thinking in order to make choices and decisions. Everything's built into my body, and everything is automatically tuned in to the higher power, to the higher wisdom, to source consciousness. And source consciousness is not in the mental body. The mental body actually dilutes and is a distraction to what is. And so, a lot of paradoxical, terminology is coming through right now, but you're not going to die if you pause and you give yourself space to actually recode and rewrite what you actually want, no matter what. For example, what I can do with the clinic now is I can move all my clients into this membership. And technically, instead of having 20 clients a week, which is 20 hours, I show up once a week and have 20 clients watching this once a week transmission. And that's me making more space, more time for me to actually then focus on the premium clients that are actually going to pay me what I believe that I'm worth. In the corporate world, 2-3 days of a training, you can get 20K. 2 days, you can get 20K. One's not better than the other. Both fulfill me. I love what I do in clinic. I absolutely love it, but I've outgrown it. That's the thing. And so what have you outgrown? What do you need to clean out? And then the other piece to this puzzle is that I've stopped ritualizing everything. What I mean by that is all the tools go out the window when you're already in your highest timeline, when you're already in a meditative state, when you operate from theta brainwave 24/7, knowing that it's possible, when you're actually living your dream life, knowing that you are the creator and you just code everything as you please, and then leave the rest to surrender and the unknowable, to the surprises, to the gifts, to the treasures, to the expansion. You don't need to ritualize anything. I don't need to do my affirmations. I don't need to do anything. It's within my being that everything is happening with me, for me, as me, through me. So I want you to also pause, and I dare you to pause from the hamster wheel of any sort of hustle, even at the slightest and subtle level, whether it's energetic hustle, whether it's emotional hustle, whether it's mental hustle, whether it's physical hustle. What if I just unhook you from fixing anything? You just stop fixing. You stop doing. You just stop with it all. Who are you when you've got nothing to do other than observe and allow revelation to guide you? revelation to guide you, revelation to guide you, revelation to guide you, moment by moment by moment by moment. And all you do is respond. It's not doing, it's not hustling, it's not thinking. So you're not using your energy on any focus. Imagine if there's nothing to focus on, nothing to focus on. And yes, you will have projects and you will have work to do. And the old paradigm is that you sit down, you focus on it. But when you're automatically in your potency and discernment, which is another pillar that I'm talking about in this session, imagine who you are when you are in true masterful discernment every moment of your entire eternal life. You are all discerning. You discern what your no is. You have discernment on what your yes is. You have discernment on who you are. You have discernment on your uniqueness. You have discernment on what client to take on, what client not to take on. You have discernment on what to price and when to price it and how to price it. You have discernment on exactly the coding of your dream life. You have full discernment. Imagine who you are as an identity when this is the true embodiment. And you operate from that energetic signature. So I'm jumping around, but coming back, I'm just reading to see if there's anything else that I can answer here. One moment. I've had a lot around money, worth, and my time. I just want to see if anything's coming through around money, worth, and my time. Okay, so in this transmission, I'm just closing my eyes for a moment, and I'm instantly just going to unhook you with your permission from all the energetic spaces in your mind, in your emotions, in your body that you are hooked into that do not move the needle in your life, that are unnecessary distractions. All the illusions that you're hooked into. And I just want to get you to come back to the source of your power, that you are the abundance, that you are the prosperity, that you are the money, you are the gift, you are the resource. I want you to just feel that for a moment, that you're the value, that you are, not what you think you are, not what you believe you are, that you actually are the source, that you are the source, that you are the source. I want you to remember the limitlessness of who you are. So I'm just going to switch off your mind from analyzing, from comparing, from looking at the past version of you, from looking at the future version of you, you being on the hamster wheel of your timeline, you actually being hooked to your identity. I'm going to just, if there was a button on the computer, the bio computer of who you are, I'm going to switch off your identity for a second. And we're just playing here, so just know that this is safe. Just want you to forget it all for a second. Just forget it. Just forget it. Forget who you were. Forget about your circumstances. Forget about the so-called problems. Forget about your thresholds. Forget about what you know. Forget about how much money your parents made. And you've just forgotten about all of that for a second. And now you're remembering your innocence. And the best way to remember your innocence is to really look into your innocent eyes, your inner child's eyes. She, he, to really just remember that pure spirit embodied, that pure potential that you are. Before someone gave you a name, before someone told you that this is the time that you were born in, before all definitions came into your awareness, you're just like a pure blank slate, right? Just remember your innocence. Just remember who he, she is as pure innocence. And another way of remembering your innocence is it's beyond all the good that you've done and all the bad that you've done. So we're switching that off. We're switching off all the things that you've done that is bad or guilt worthy. Just forgetting about that, because that's an illusion. And you're just coming home to the innocence and the completeness that you are, that you're just pure innocence. And language doesn't do this innocence remembrance justice, because it's a feeling. The feeling is when you look at an animal, like a horse or a little doggy, and you look into their eyes and you see their innocence. And you feel unconditional love for them because you connect to their spirit. You connect to the vibration that you witness in their eyes. And you remember that innocence. And you remember that you're pure potential. Meaning that there is nothing that I can label. You are not that. You are not this. You are not your anything. You are not your experiences. You are not your past. You are nothing. You are pure potential. And when you remember your innocence and connect with that inner child of yours and how innocent he, she is, you also start remembering your inherent worth and your inherent value. And then you also start remembering not only the inherent worth and value, you start remembering all the hours and all the life experiences that are infinite, because you can remember all past lives too. You remember all the hours, all the times, all the infinite times that you have worked on yourself, that you have given time, energy, focus, effort, all the efforting that you have done to become the incredible human that you are today, the incredible reflection of God that you radiate today, that you are an emanation of. You start remembering all of your true value accumulated over infinite lifetimes. And you remember that. You remember your innocence, your inherent worth, and every time that you worked on yourself. And that remembrance, when you are in relaxation and rest, and you are surrendered to God, all that is, the power that animates, all that is, the power that has dreamt this reality into existence, that moves through you, the combination of all of the above, you wake up. You wake up to true reality. You wake up to the simplicity of this reality, that at the end of the day, you can let everything go. You can leave everything behind. and you can start anew from this new energetic truth, this new vibrational truth, and this embodiment of your highest power. You remember your power. You remember your limitlessness. And you remember that the Creator is always supporting you and on your side. Okay? So you get out of the story and you move into true, actual reality, which is infinitely malleable, infinitely interchangeable. The impermanence is your saving grace. And when you operate from grace, this is when you continue to pivot moment by moment. Every moment begins to be a pivot. Every moment. You're unattached because you're fulfilled. And this detachment, this unhooked aura that you have is potent and powerful to make moves that are revolutionary and paradigm shifting, right? So I want you to shift your own paradigm right now and imagine that you've pivoted to another story, another chapter. And this chapter isn't a continuation of the story of you. This isn't another continuation of the story of you. It's not another version of you. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm actually talking about this is a new lifetime. You've just woken up to a new life. The old, what you experienced before, whatever the story is, struggling with money, not feeling confident with the magnitude of your gifts, feeling disconnected, having relationship issues, having intimacy issues, whatever you labeled before, that's now a past life. You've just woken up to a new life. So I want you to take a deep breath in, and I want you to feel what scene we have created for you now. You're unhooked, you're unattached, you're thoughtless, you're surrendered, you've pivoted, you've woken up to your inherent worth and value, and also to the magnitude of your gifts beyond evidence, beyond validation. You are now self-validating. You are now self-praising, and you also are in the highest discernment, So what that means is that it's so nuanced in the sense of if I was in my judgment mind, I would judge myself as selfish for living a lifestyle that is purely all embracing me and my personal life, right? If I was in my judgment mind, I would judge that me doing me, living a unique existence is selfish, but I'm not. I'm actually in my compassionate embrace. I'm in my heart when it comes to me. I'm in my heart, and I have full unconditional love and compassion for myself. And I believe that it's not selfishness to put my needs first, to put my desires first, to make myself happy, to give myself all the love. It's self-love. So I've recoded my definition of selfishness. I've recoded so much of what society would label as right and wrong. I've recoded it to really honor the uniqueness of my soul, right? So what this means is, for example, I'm getting married in September. And instead of doing the traditional thing, I'm not doing anything traditional. Nothing. Nothing about my wedding is traditional, right? And I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cousins. And my partner has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cousins. And if I was to do the traditional thing, I would have to invite all of them, and I would be performing, and I would be on show, and I would be doing something that I don't want to do just to make my family happy, just to make my father proud, so that he can feel like his daughter has had the wedding of a lifetime. And, you know, it's all ego stuff. So I've decided to have the balls and the bravery to not have to do anything that I don't feel comfortable with. And that's going to potentially disappoint or upset my parents, who want me to have a particular style of wedding to fulfill their own needs, right? And so right now I'm facing those things where I'm inviting my parents over on Sunday, and I'm sitting them down and I'm telling them who I am, who the fuck I am, that I'm different, that they need to let go, that they cannot see me in the light that they cannot project onto me anymore. I'm standing true to my full essence no matter what, and I'm setting myself free to be all of me, to do all of me, to live without obligation, and to know who I am without any obligation, without any additional stress, because I'm no longer going to be living someone else's blueprint and version of who they think I need to be. This is the level of courage and bravery that I want for you guys. And that's the only reason why I'm giving you that example. I want you to shred what your industry says is the blueprint that you need to follow. I want you to shred what society says is the blueprint to who you need to be, and be on pause mode to really realize your authentic self at its fullest, beyond the mental gymnastics of what, you know, society says this is what it looks like to be your authentic self. This is what it looks like to be in your power. This is what it looks like to be wealthy. This is what it feels like. All of that is a preach. Is, you know, people are preaching all these things, but only you can embody your true definition of what success is, what freedom is, what wealth is, what living clean is, what living freedom looks like. Okay? This is an individuation that you're experiencing. This is pure individuation. And maybe people don't individuate fully because they're afraid they're not going to belong anymore. They're not going to feel safe anymore. They're not going to fit in anymore. And I would say that this is what we're shifting for you right now, because that's also an illusion. You can still belong, you can still feel safe, and you can still fit in and be a revolutionary and a paradigm shifter, and someone that lives your unique design wholeheartedly. And only you can validate that for yourself. Only you can validate that. No one else will validate that for you. And so I'm jumping around right now, but I want to just activate all these different aspects that you might absorb through this activation. And we're just going to have a moment of silence as I witness this awakening for you, this shift for you, this infinite love for you. Even what we're told as to spiritual practice, wipe it out. None of that is necessary. None of it is necessary. What a business coach says, none of it is necessary. Nothing is necessary for you to be already whole and in your power. Nothing. And so just take a deep breath in and feel that bravery and awakening move through you as you actually give yourself rest to be in your power, to know that you are the source, to live without and know who you are without martyrdom, without overgiving, without undervaluing and undercharging yourself, to live without the fear of what you might lose if you pivot so drastically. Because I'm pivoting drastically and I'm doing it tactfully. I'm doing it tactfully. I'm not going to leave anyone behind, but I'm using my innovation. How can I still support those that I've been supporting for 5 years and at the same time charge 100K, 200K, and actually live my $1 million life through ease? I don't believe that making millions, and I'm not saying that I have made millions, okay? But I'm at this true discernment in my life. I don't believe that I have to work hard to make millions. That's how valued I feel within myself. I believe that I can actually make millions through my gifts and through ease simply by showing up, by being me. That's how much I believe and value my essence and my gifts. So the old paradigm of how to make millions, what to do, what it looks like, how it looks like, even that we want to chuck out the window. What if it's a matter of me just being in the right place at the right time, offering my gifts and values, my gifts and value at the deepest level that works for me, that works for the other, a win-win-win-win-win situation, right time, right place, and boom, it's as easy as that. So it's never about what you're doing. It's always about who you be. Who you be. You are the source. You are the wealth. You are the prosperity. You are the money. You are the value. Take a deep breath in, and everything else is simply the vehicle. Take a deep breath in. I'm going to give you some downloads. We don't need these downloads, but I'm using them as a tool to reinforce everything that I'm saying, to bring it into perspective for you, because I am jumping around. I recognize the power in pausing to realign with my highest path. Have your eyes closed so that you can feel the vibrational shift, the neurological shift. I am comfortable and I feel comfortable in surrendering old patterns to embrace a brighter future. I have the strength to pause and reflect, ensuring alignment with my true purpose. I trust in the process of surrendering to a higher timeline for my life, knowing what that feels like, knowing what that is. I am capable of pivoting towards realities that resonate with my true self. I find wisdom in the pause, gaining clarity and direction. I embrace surrender as a step towards personal growth and fulfillment. I am open to new possibilities that emerge when I pause and reassess. I am empowered to shift towards a reality that reflects my highest values, no matter what. No matter what. I'm telling you right now, whatever the consequences are for you, why you're still hooked and not willing to unhook from everything is because you believe you're going to lose something. And that's not true. This can be a win, 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 win. It can be. The very nature of infinite realities, infinite solutions, infinite possibilities show us that we can actually have multiple ends, that it's not all or nothing. I can have my clinic, I can have my membership, I can have my corporate, I can have my retreats, I can have my empire, I can have my book, I can have my staff, I can and have it all. And this is what I'm sharing for you guys, that the pause and the space will allow you to digest and recode your experience. Now, before I continue with the downloads, the way that I started to recode my experience is very fun. And it takes me 5 minutes. I literally write it out like this. Ready? In September, Lisa is having a wedding. Her father and mother are completely surrendered to the experience. They're so joyful and in love with the idea that Lisa is honoring her unique self and her true identity. Lisa's friends and family all gather around to really be in the energy of unconditional love. The entire wedding is romantic, loving, joyful, under the sun and then the moon. It's mystical, it's magical. Synchronicity is all around. Everyone has the most spiritually gifted, enlightened experience. Lisa then can relax because everything is done for her. She just simply receives and receives and receives. She feels safe to live without the stress of planning a wedding. She doesn't have to plan it. She's gifted the gift of sitting back and receiving wholeheartedly. She feels worthy and deserving of that. Can you see how this is like a script, like a movie? Imagine if every day you write the story of your life and you hold it lightly, knowing that it gets to manifest, and it will, and it does. And then you leave room for the surrender piece and the unknown to merge with the story. It's both what you write and code and script, and also what the higher power writes and scripts for you. And you know that the higher power is benevolent and loves you unconditionally because there is no separation. So you allow yourself to receive. You allow yourself to receive. You allow yourself to receive. So this is how you have full power of everything. So you can write, in February, an opportunity enters your life. And this opportunity is limitless. There's so much expansiveness in making big money. And your character, instead of questions your worth around receiving that big money, your character finally has the bravery and the courage and the willingness to step into it and to recognize that growth doesn't always have to be uncomfortable and tense. That growth doesn't always have to include nerves. That growth can simply be a reward, an ease, an effortless action, a wu wei, a flow. And at the same time, your character can also manage, handle, and face any parts that are uncomfortable, any whatever the word is, growing, any growing pains. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Take a deep breath in, and we're just going to teach you how to code your reality, how to script your reality, and how to also surrender to the unknown. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Take a deep breath in. I find peace in the pause, knowing it leads to enlightened decisions. I am confident in making choices and changes that elevate my life's trajectory. I surrender to the flow of life, trusting in the journey towards my dreams. I am in harmony with the universe when I surrender and trust its wisdom. I recognize the transformative power of pausing and reflecting. I am skilled in adapting to higher timelines for my highest good. I am guided towards higher realities that enrich my soul and being. I trust in the power of pausing to gain perspective and wisdom. I find strength in surrender, knowing it leads to divine synchronicities. I am rejuvenated and inspired in moments of pause and reflection. I am in sync with the universe's rhythm, gracefully pivoting as needed. I trust the journey, knowing each pause is a chance for renewal. I find joy in the journey of surrender and transformation. I'm empowered by the potential that lies in every pivot and change. I am resilient, turning challenges into opportunities for ascension. I honor the pauses as sacred spaces for growth and enlightenment. I am a catalyst for positive change, embracing new chapters with open arms. I am a seeker of truth, finding clarity and direction in moments of stillness. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. As you breathe, what I'm doing and witnessing for you, have your eyes closed, feel what you feel. I'm actually opening up a direct line to the divine source so that you can begin to channel divine light into your soul star, integrating lessons learned in prior lives. I'm opening you up to soul acceptance. Now, soul acceptance and living a soul-centered life does not mean that there's more to go. Okay, that's also a construct and a belief that first we let go of the ego, then we move into soul consciousness, then we move into spirit consciousness, then it's this ascension journey. All of that's bullshit. Everything's now. Everything exists now. There is only now. So in this new paradigm of knowing true discernment, living from true discernment, discernment being your highest superpower. When you're all discerning, you're all knowing. When you're all knowing, you're all trusting. In this soul acceptance blueprint or experience, embodiment, you're actually the divine light, the infinite energy. You actually are the divine light and the infinite energy. You are the infinite. You are God mode, right? And we know this already. So this is the reason why the striving, the growing, the trying, the doing, it's complete. You have finished. Your soul mission is complete. There is no soul mission anymore. There's nothing left for you to do. You have just awakened, and your past has moved into a past life. That means you're now operating in this world without a mission because you've completed it. You've woken up to your true self. You're the embodiment of infinite love. There's nothing left for you to do. Nothing. And I'm being radical on purpose for you to feel that. You're done. You've finished. You finished. You're complete. I want you to feel that. Because from here, it's just all play now. You can trust yourself. You can still work, but it's no longer I have to, I need to, stressful, must, none of that. Because you own yourself. You own your blueprint. You own your worth. You own your value. You own who you are. So now when you are working, it's simply you doing the thing that you love. Doing the thing that you love. And therefore it's not doing. Therefore it's not striving. It's simply you being in the energy of love with something that you are passionate about. It's a completely different energy. It's a completely different energy. You're complete. You finished. Feel that completion. As you have your eyes closed, I want you to know that you are now living your dreams. That means it's up to you to dream it. Just like I script it. You dream it. You are now inherently masterful and skilled. You are now the divine spark. You are now the creator. You are now your true essence. You are now pure wisdom. You are now union. You are now trusting in flow. You are now open. You now no longer have painful memories. Your past lives are complete. Your past lives are resolved. You're atoned. You're redeemed. Redemption is yours to claim. Feel that. Feel it. All blocks are clear. All of them. There's nothing for you to work on. Simply remember, moving forward, learning a skill is not because you have to learn the skill to survive or be something. You're complete. So now think of when you're learning a skill, it's like you learning how to create art. It's not hard to learn how to create art. It's not hard. You do it from your embodiment. You do it from joy. When you go to an art class, you're not there stressed unless you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. If you're in playful energy, you're just creating art. And then you get better and better and better at it. And you get better and better and better at it. It's the same with the vehicle that you want to express the magnitude of your gifts. If the vehicle is business, then it's now play. Cultivating a skill, just like you would cultivate learning how to cook at an advanced level. getting better at your cooking skills, getting better at your artistry, getting better at gardening, getting more masterful with the thing that you love. It's not hard anymore. It's not will anymore. Take a deep breath in, because you are now the cosmic doorway. You are now the cosmic doorway. You are now pure compassion. You now know that every event is fulfilled. You are now inspiration, where the light is what you are. You are pure light. And you begin to discover skills, not from a survivalist, energetic motivation, but from pure completeness. From completeness. Feel the difference of cultivating skills when you're already complete, when you're already successful, when you've completed your mission. That's why once upon a time, I felt this way with clinic ages ago when my clinic first just thrived, completely thrived, like went nuts. And I was booked out for 3 months. And at the time I called it retirement. And then I realized like I didn't really like that, because that energy of retirement has content and meaning to it. And at the time, I wasn't in this vibration of everything is meaningless and meaningful depending on the meaning that I give it. And so it did feel like I was in retirement. Like it felt that way until I realized that I wasn't retired and there was more to go. So I was like, okay, I'm not retired. I'm just complete. I've completed my mission. And it's a whole new chapter. And I don't have to have a new mission, because I'm now in radiant energy, power, and revelation, attuned to the natural flow. So what we're going to do now is remove, delete some of the emotions around this. I want you to take a deep breath in. This is a balance on the stellar gateway. This is a balance. Taking a deep breath in. Breathing in. Taking another deep breath in. Now, when you've also awakened, you're no longer the programming, right? So that means that you get to also decide the character that you are. So you get to create your character, and you get to also be the authentic character. And it does require discernment to know how to integrate and merge those two paradoxes. So just take a deep breath in. So an example of creating the character is, within the next 3 months, Lisa finds an innovative way, a revolutionary way, an easeful way to simply drop 10 kilos so that she can step into her goddess frame wholeheartedly and fully authentically, nurturing and nourishing her body. Lisa does it by honoring herself, by relaxing, having balance in her life, by eating fresh, living without addiction, knowing that addiction is a complete illusion anyway. It's not real. There's no such thing. Lisa realizes that she can simply just drop 10 kilos just by being truthful to the lifestyle that honors her unique sense of self from inside out. By being free, by being in love, by being in presence. And from that presence, she makes choices and decisions that nourish and nurture her. She releases all the weight simply by being hydrated, eating just enough before feeling full, being content, being grounded, being in love, and being supported. Thank you, it is done, it is done, it is done. So that's the co-creation piece. That gets to make manifest. That's the dream. That's me dreaming that. That's me creating that. I have no doubt that that script will come true. I have no doubt. By the time it's my wedding, I'm at the ultimate figure, the best body of my entire life. And so there actually is no difference between the authentic you and who you dream yourself to be. Because where does the dream come from? Where does the creation and co-creation come from? Where does the intention come from? It comes from the authentic self. It comes from the authentic self. So when you're ready, as you breathe in and out, we're teaching your consciousness, your unconscious, your superconscious, your conscious, your body, your multidimensional self. We're teaching you who you are, living without feeling afraid to fail so you don't bother trying. We're working on your multidimensional self and all past lives, all dimensional realities, all infinite realities, your genetics, your DNA, your inner child, all parts of you that have yet to be integrated into this moment. All parts of you that are fragmented to come into wholeness now so that you know who you are without avoiding making life plans. Feeling blocked in many areas of your life. We're deleting that. That doesn't exist. It's not real. It's not true. Can't make sense of life. We're teaching you how to live your day-to-day life without. Can't see beyond present surrounds. Can't see how things will work out. Darkness surrounds. Disappointed by circumstances. Disrupted natural flow of energy. We're teaching you who you are without that. We're teaching you how to live without doubting yourself and your abilities. That is also an illusion. Where does that doubt come from? Who is the one that's doubting? Can you taste it? Can you touch it? Can you feel it? Can you see it? Does doubt have form? It's simply a mental program. It's a strategy, a survivalist strategy that keeps you in limbo, protected, distracted from what is. From what is. Reality is much simpler than what we believe it to be. If I was to switch off your inner dialogue and you from thinking right now, if I was to just switch off that button, there would be nothing wrong. Nothing. There would be no problems. They don't exist in physical reality. In physical reality. Physical reality is actually the most spiritual reality that there is. It's very simple. It's very beautiful. It flows and it works whether you want it or not. Life will continue on. So I want you to just take a deep breath in. For you to now know who you are without dull on the inside. Feeling others' energy too much. Hard on yourself. Hindered energy, teaching you how to live without that. Teaching you how to live without the inability to make sense of life. The inability to trust others. Now that's a big one, because you actually can trust others. You actually can. It's trusting others first and then witnessing others show up in that trustworthy way. The reflection will come after the ownership. The reflection will come after the ownership. Own, I trust others as a recode. Recode it that yes, I can trust others. I can. Knowing that your discernment will guide you through that. Teaching you how to live without the belief, my family failed, so I will too. My gate is closed. My heart feels empty. My light has gone off inside. I have a negative mental perception. I'm teaching you who you are without that. That's all a program. It's all not real. It doesn't exist, only in a thought form, really. I want you to know who you are without no dreams or life plan. Or no one gets me. Or I'm not good enough to do what's required. Nothing ever works out. Over planning your life. I want you to know who you are without that. I want you to know who you are without feeling weak and flat about life. Now, these are just the negative energies within the stellar gateway. They might or might not apply to you. But I want you to know that this has also been muscle tested for this week. And this is the reason why I feel a call to release it, because the stellar gateway is the impersonal self, the collective self, the universal self, the consciousness. So we're just clearing out the closet right now. We're cleaning out the closet. We're cleaning out the closet. We're cleaning out feeling unsupported to move forward, unfulfilled in life, unable to manifest, unable to hear other guidance, trying to get everything perfect before taking action, thinking the universe is not supporting you, and the universe feeling too big for you, stagnant in growth, with a sense of detachment, painful past experiences and memories. Why hold on to that when in this moment you're pure potential, that you are everything and nothing, that I can completely wipe you out for a moment, wipe you out, empty you out for a moment, and place you into another timeline, into another reality, into another identity, into another character. and you can completely thrive. One life you're here living a scarcity position, and another life you're making millions using the same amount of energy that you already use. There is no difference. So the same amount of energy that I use in my clinic in a small business is the same amount of energy that I'm going to be using in the corporate world making millions. Same energy, same output, same intelligence, just different receivership. This is the true ease of remembering how simple life really is. How easy it can be. I want you to know who you are without having too many expectations. And feeling punished by the universe or having a sense of detachment. And again, reiterating, only seeing darkness, nothing ever works out, not good enough to do what's required, and no one gets me. We're teaching you how to live without that. Who you are without that, knowing that it's safe and possible and that you're worthy and deserving of letting that illusion, identity, frequency, attachment, and hook go. So I'm unhooking you, unhooking you, unhooking you, unhooking you, unhooking you, unhooking you, unhooking you. I'm unhooking you, unhooking you, unhooking you. I'm unhooking you from all false realities. All of them. All of them. All of them. If you didn't write the story of your life, it's a false reality. If you're not writing, coding your reality, it's not your life. You're living someone else's story. You're living someone else's book. You're living someone else's movie. You are not the main character of your own movie. You're not. If you didn't write it, then you're living someone else's life. So start writing. Write your life biography, but in the future, not the past. I don't want to know your past life. It's gone. I want you to start writing today. Chapter 1. Who are you? Where are you going? And what is your highest potential? And what skills have you learned to meet that highest potential? Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Have your eyes closed. I want you now to walk this earth as this embodiment. This is who you are. I'm placing you in a new chapter of your life where you've just been rebirthed, reborn, or you just time traveled. Like literally, you are a being that has just time traveled into another reality. You have no idea which reality you've landed. There are infinite realities. And you've just like literally went through a freaking vortex at the speed of light. You've just tunneled your way through. You've just woken up and you're like, where have I landed? Where have I landed? I want you to be there right now. You're just discovering where you've landed. And this is who you are. Take a deep breath in. Have your eyes closed. You are now an embodiment and identity of abundance of creative ideas. You are a being that has an abundance of creative ideas. You've landed into a reality where you are the embodiment and identity of accessing and trusting your intuition at its highest. All intuitive, all knowing, all discerning. That is your superpower. You have landed there. Okay? Breathe. Breathe throughout this. You've just time traveled, landed into a reality where you are the character, identity. This is just what you are. This is just who you are. Aligned to goals. Aligned to goals. Your true goals, your true self goals. The most intimate and loving, connecting, communicative relationship of your wildest dreams. You are aligned to that. You are one with that. You are that. You are the embodiment, feel this, where you are allowed to stretch your thinking, beyond any thought form that is already existing. Okay, so it's almost like you've got this innovative thinking that never existed before. You're a true innovator in thought. And that's your superpower. Now, connect with who you are, where brightness surrounds you. Brightness, light, pure light, pure light. Everything is love. Everything is light. Everything is infinite intelligence infused in the fabric of reality. Everything is alive. And all challenges melt away. All challenges melt away. Right? So you're still going to grow, but you are so self-contained, so self-fulfilled, so self-discerning that it's no longer a challenge. It's more like the up level in every turn and every pivot. The upgrade in every turn and every pivot. And you are creating new things. Like, this is just who you've landed to be. You are creating new things. New things. That means your programs, your business, your branding, your color schemes, your business model, the structures, the hours, everything is new. It's never been done before. It's never been done before. And all your desires make manifest into reality instantaneously. That's just your embodiment. That's just your vibration. That's just how you operate. That's who you are. That all your desires come into reality like that. And you exist with purpose. You've got this expansive ability to create, this easeful ability to create. You literally create everything and anything that you desire. Your life is just so abundant in your creations, and you love it. Because creation, conscious creation, is far grander than manifestation. There's a difference between the two. One is built from your source code. The other is still a mental game. One's unlimited, the other one's limited. In the world of manifestation, there are rules, there are laws. In the world of conscious creation, there are no rules and there are no laws. That's the difference. So let's download the true definition of what manifestation is. It's pure creativity. And you are now this embodiment of exploring new possibilities for your future. Beyond what you're told, beyond who you are, beyond all the blueprints that society and culture deems as realistic, as possible, as rational, as logical. Like, I'm talking about you're exploring new possibilities for your future that are so surreal that you didn't even know they existed or were possible. Your mind wasn't even open to that even being a reality until you realized that you can create anything and you can live any life experience of choice, of creative potency and power. And you are feeling like a bright, shining star. Like, this is just who you are. You are feeling like a bright, shining star where you are finding new experiences, where there is a focused will, but it's so aligned to your true self that you don't even need to manage it. So for you to know the difference between managing your energy and having your energy simply be in the energy of truth, there's a difference. One is trying, one's not there yet. One is developing and learning, the other one owns it. You own your truth, and therefore it's a focused willingness because you've owned it. You've owned it. You've owned it. I'm not trying to lose weight right now. I'm just on the path of destiny where it's done. Now I'm just living the life of someone, of an identity that eats healthy, that nourishes herself, that loves herself. I just operate from that paradigm, and therefore I'm naturally just releasing weight. It's so much easier living your truth, being your true self, than it is trying to be something, trying to get there when you're already complete. In this future that you have just landed, or this timeline that you have just landed right now, you are in the flow with the universe, and you know what that feels like, and you realize it. You are in the flow with the universe. And at the same time, you realize that you are the universe. That's what you are. So you are in the flow with yourself. You are in the flow with your truth. You are in the flow of your being. You are in the flow of what matters most to you. You are in the flow of your self-realization. You've realized yourself. You've realized your worth. You've realized your value. You are in the flow of that, where there is incredible potential now, where you're integrating skills learned from other lifetimes, and you're learning new things from this easeful paradigm of joy and ease and grace and completeness. You're already complete. There's nothing for you to do or be. You're not becoming. You've becomed. You're not becoming. You've becomed. So therefore, learning new things is like someone that has retired is learning. My weight loss is happening easily through my daily routines and mindset. Exactly. I love that. And mindset does play a role in this. It does. And at the same time, it's paradoxical because you don't need to manage your mindset. My mindset of not worrying. Exactly. But there's a paradox there. That's the thing, because when you're not worrying, there's an opposite to that in the world of duality, of worrying. So I would even go further than that. I would let go of the intention of not worrying. You are someone that has a mindset that lives without, you live without worrying, and you know how to live without worrying. It's just your identity. It's just what you are. You are someone that doesn't worry. Worry doesn't even come into your experience. You don't need to worry. It's a little bit different to a mindset of not worrying. This is an embodiment. This is an identity. This is who you be. This is how you be, so that you can be in the non-duality piece. I don't want you to be in duality, because if you're not worrying, then you can swing to worry. If you're worrying, then you can swing to not worrying. I want that reality to dissolve, where worry doesn't even exist. What is worry? What is it? There's no such thing as worry. That's just a construct. That's just a pattern that we've labeled and given meaning to. Like, really break it down. Really break it down. Someone told us that this is worry and this is what it looks like and this is the pattern of it, and we've labeled it and we've added meaning to it and we've given context to it and we have identified with it. It's also not real. It's also not real. In non-duality, it doesn't exist. So I'm just unhooking you from needing a mindset of not worrying, and for you to come back to your truth, to who you be beyond that. Yeah. We're almost complete. We're completing this session. Take a deep breath in and feel free to write whatever you want. This is who you be now. The light engulfs your life. You are your higher self. You are your higher self, right? That's just what you are. That's just what you are. There's nothing other than you being your higher self. You are your higher self. You're living your dreams. You're opening up to the stars and life above. You're openly listening to your guides. You're a peaceful spiritual leader and warrior without any fight. You are reconnecting with your fullest creation power, and you have. You are receiving inspiration and messages, and you do. Synchronicities happen. You are shining light wherever you are. You are trusting the flow. You are trusting the flow of life. You are understanding and living, expressing, being, are your unique gifts and talents. And you're using your inherent abilities without judgment. Before I love you and leave you, I want to tell you something that's important when you're living your inherent gifts. I want you to live without judging how easy it is to have these gifts. What I mean by it is that your gifts might be so easy to you that you might actually neglect them from being valuable or reject their value or not see their value. Yes. Yeah, I can tell. Like, some of your gifts are so easy and inherent to you that you're like, well, how can I charge 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000? I'm just giving you examples for just like holding space for someone, or like having a conversation with someone, or like, just texting someone. But the truth is, that's all an illusion. You've added meaning, you've created judgment, you've done this comparison thing. You're not seeing through objective eyes. You really have to see it objectively. That, like, even if this is just an example to paint your picture. Like, if you just had a container where it was just text messages only, right? Where it's like, for like 3 weeks, we're just going to text back and forth unlimited within business hours. And you price that offer as a low offer because you believe like, oh, it doesn't take much for me to text someone back. Like, you've just analyzed it and you've judged it. I want you to know that that is invaluable. It is priceless. If I was you, I'd make it 20K for 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to think bigger. Just because it's easy for you and it's so inherent doesn't mean it's not valuable. So before you value any of your gifts and put a price tag on it, I want you to sit in nothingness, in meditation, and I want you to recode the ideal situation. The ideal situation. Okay, like, if the ideal is like crazy, something insane, then still code it in. Something insane is like, it's $500,000 for a week with me. Just write it down anyway. Get it out of your head. Put the highest ideal experience down on paper first and foremost, and sit with it first. Sit with it first. Sit with it first. Because this is you shifting the paradigm for yourself. And this is how you start validating yourself from inside out. No one's going to do it for you. And someone might do it for you. That could be your manifestation, that it comes through revelation, that someone just pops into your life and it's like, they give you an offer that you can't refuse. And I want you to know that the pivot can happen in any moment. So are you willing to drop the old and pivot to the new in every moment for your highest evolution and your highest destiny? Is there anything else that you've had on your mind around how easy it is when it comes to living your gifts and sitting with the price tag from the highest truth, no matter what, really valuing it at its deepest level, at its deepest level objectively, and discerning it? Just feel into it. I'm just going to transmit something to you. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. And it's just remembering your values. I put my services out there and I don't get any response. I doubt that I'm any good. The question is, do you actually want it? Do you actually want it? Or is it actually a blessing in disguise that you don't get any response? I'm just going to put my, yeah. I just want you to know that you're always in your power. Always. Whatever the thing is that you think isn't working is an illusion. Like you're literally creating your reality even unconsciously. Yeah. So it's like just pivoting that maybe, just maybe, you've got infinite options, right? You can either scrap your services, start again, create a service that's really, really juicy that you actually want it. Like, for example, the rabbit hole can get so deep. This is an example of what I mean, how it can get so deep. What if I just want one client, but I want that one client to pay me $1 million? Do you know what I mean? Like, what if that's my ideal? I just want one client. What if I only want to work 2 months out of 12 and have a $1 million contract within those 2 months? Like, how deep can you go into the rabbit hole to wipe out everything that you think, all the blueprints, everything that you've been told, and start from the deepest desire when you are already complete? You don't have to work. You don't have to do anything. You are pure potential. You can pivot anywhere. You're choosing this from a place of completion and choice. How would you love to have it? How would you love to have it? Because, for example, I'm going into a partnership right now, and my human brain is afraid that, oh, fuck, if I go into a partnership, that means I'm going to have to work longer hours, harder for it to be an equal partnership. And then I'm like, no, what if I can continue working part-time and just really understand my value beyond the measuring stick of the old paradigm? That I can work just 2 hours and create a huge value, not measure that value, but just know that that is enough. And so that this partnership doesn't have to consume me and eat me up alive, and I have to, be someone that I'm not in order to be valuable to the partnership, but really assert my leadership, my authority, and my genius in a way where I don't have to measure my value anymore. I don't have to trade my hours, my time. I don't have to trade my time. My genius and my intelligence is enough. My guidance is enough. My essence is enough. My value of just being part of this partnership beyond the amount of time that I spend on the business is enough. Can you see the higher? This is like a mindset that it's like, I'm the gift, I'm the treasure, I'm the abundance, I'm the source, I'm complete, I'm whole, I'm all knowing, I'm all discerning. And I keep repeating that for you to really feel it, because this is a coherence. I just woke up to this. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, 1 minute I was this person, the next minute I'm this person. I just woke up. Like, boom, this is the new me. And this is how it gets to be. So this doubt that you're any good, let's release that as a strategy for you to have the freedom that you currently have without the response. Let's keep the freedom. Let's know, of course, you're amazing at what you do. Like, you're the icon, you're the genius. Your gifts are next level. Your gifts are almost priceless. You know, that's how potent it is. You're the value, you're the gift, you're the treasure. And we craft a service that matches the level of freedom that you really want. Does that feel good for you? Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. So don't wait for the response. Keep going. Create the true service. So give yourself this week to pause, to stop, to do nothing. You're complete. There's nothing for you to do. You're complete. You finished. Your mission is complete. And from this, start writing the juiciest recode of your life, as if you're just a storyteller. As if you're just a storyteller. And feel free to share it with me if need be. If that's something that you want, feel free to get in touch and share your recode, the new movie of your life and what it looks like exactly the dream experience. Because my dream experience is like working like less than 10 hours a week and making millions. So be it. Why not? Let's do it. I'm down. I'm up. I'm ready for it. I'm just going to show up and make millions. Now, I might come across silly if I don't make these millions, but I don't really care either, because I'm not attached either. I'm not worried. I don't care what anyone thinks. This is my intention because I know my worth, but I'm not attached. So it's this beautiful place that I'm in where it's like, I'm not measuring it, but I know my worth. Let's see what the unknown reveals to me next. And I wish that for you as well. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Just know that you got what you needed from this transmission and more and more. Let it be digested. Let this be a health healing. Let it release you from any sympathetic nervous system response, any survival response. And just know that you can overcome that as well. Like if you're literally in lack and you're literally in survival, I want you to know that I've been there and I still survived. You know, I've been there and I still survived and came out of it on the other end. It's also an illusion. In every moment, you're safe. In every moment, you're safe. In every moment, you're safe. In every moment, you are safe. Don't fall into the illusion of what if. Just don't. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Thank you, gorgeous people. I love you. And I'm going to be in touch with the next Friday's transmission. I'm just going to keep channeling, keep sending, creating new transmissions, and just trust that it's all coming together like a beautiful big picture and a beautiful puzzle. So I love you and I'm here for you guys. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. It is done. It is done. It is done. May the light bless you today and every day. Bye, guys.